I've got the 15 hottest prospects in baseball right now. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Kyle here at Let's Talk Wax with Prospect Hot Sheet Week 2, where we take a look at the minor league's hottest players from this past week. So this has been a fun series so far. We've found a lot of sleepers and a lot of big names as well. We've had a couple repeats this year, but I'm going to keep doing this throughout the course of the entire season so you guys can stay up to date on who's doing really well in the minor league system, and maybe you can get a good jump on some deals for their Bowman Chrome autos. As always, if you guys enjoy my content, if you're into rookies, Bowman Chrome baseball cards, and prospects, subscribe to my channel and help reach my new goal of 5,000 subscribers. And you can also check out my Patreon. Over there, you can find Bowman Chrome autograph checklist breakdowns for every Bowman release since 2019. I also just uploaded a breakdown of the entire 2022 Bowman First prospect checklist. I've also got a top 100 Bowman Chrome autos list and a top 100 Bowman Chrome autos under $50 list. And if that's not enough for you, I have a dedicated Discord server with over 40 members where I release early previews for all of my videos. All right, so let's dig in and find out who the top 15 hottest prospects were this week in minor league baseball. All right, guys, so here we are with our first 5, which is 11 through 15. And, I do try to order these guys in some sort of a tier, but it's really close between a lot of players. But we're going to start off with Brady House making his first appearance on the prospect hot sheet. He's actually only 18 years old still, a shortstop with the Washington Nationals. He was 10 for 27 this week with 2 doubles and 8 RBIs. Now he's hitting .410 on the season with a 154 ISOP. And I wanted to mention, as I do in these videos, the yellow section I use for their season stats, so you can kind of compare what they did this past week to what they've done over the course of a season. And it kind of helps us tell if a guy's just getting really hot or a guy's just really good. And right now, Brady House is putting together an excellent season. Now, he does not have a first Chrome auto yet. I'm hoping is the key word, that he does have a first Chrome auto in 2022 Bowman. But his first Chrome prospect cards are in 2021 draft right now, and they're about $6. Next on our list, coming out of 2021 draft, and a similar situation with the auto, is Cooper Bowman. Now, he only has a first Chrome auto in 2021 draft, so maybe we'll see him on the 2022 Bowman autograph checklist. But the 22-year-old with the New York Yankees went 6 for 16 with a home run, 5 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and 4 walks. Now, I did sort these guys by OPS and average, so I picked up some guys that were taking walks because I think that's a big trait to look at in the minor league system. Guys that are taking a lot of walks. It kind of shows me that they have a more advanced approach than maybe some other prospects. So he's only hitting .250 on the season right now with a 214 ISOP, which is decent, but he's 22 in high A, so he really should be kicking a lot more butt at that level, but the season's early. And it's his first full season. So Cooper Bowman at number 14. We're going to go all the way back to 2017 draft with number 13, Bubba Thompson. He's an outfielder in the Texas Rangers organization. He was 10 for 24 this week with 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. He's hitting .391 on the year, but his ISOP is only around 131, so he's not showing much power. His strikeout percentage is a little high for me. And I also remember looking at his stats. He's got 14 punch-outs and 0 walks. So he's really aggressive right now, and hopefully he can increase his walk rate as he develops this season. Thompson's a guy who's been on my radar as a sleeper for a long time. He's got a lot of tools, but he's still kind of raw, as you can tell, with the 14-0 strikeout to walk ratio. So he's a guy to keep an eye on. If he can run into some juice, that'd be a lot better for him. But his autos are only around $25 right now, so he's kind of a risky guy with the K issues right now. Next is Michael Harris, a super tooled up outfielder in the Braves organization. He's 21. He was 9 for 24 with 2 triples, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. This guy is going to be really, really good. I really like Michael Harris. He kind of came out last year and put his name on the map. On the season, he's hitting .378 with a 163 ISOP and a 20.5 K percentage in Double-A as a 21-year-old. So The dude makes a lot of contact. He finds a lot of barrels with his bat. His autos are pretty expensive right now because I think the community's kind of caught on to the fact that Michael Harris is really good. They're at 125. And to wrap up 11 through 15, we're going to finish with Robert Hassel, who is a really, really good player. And I hated to put him at 11 and keep him outside the top 10, but he's a name we're going to see on this hot sheet, I think, several times throughout the course of the year. He's a Padres outfielder. He's only 20 years old. He's playing in high A, so he's below the age level. He was 9 for 24 with a home run, 3 RBIs and 5 stolen bases. On the season, he's hitting 400 with a 171 ISOP and an 18.4 K percentage. So a lot like Harris, he's playing below the level and he's hardly K'ing at all. So those are really good traits to look at for young kids in the minor leagues. His autos, like I said, with Harris, the community's caught on to Hassel. He was a first rounder in 2020, and he's just really good. His autos are around 175 right now. So if you can jump on some prospect cards, they're probably going to be a lot cheaper. But that's going to wrap up 11 through 15. But we're going to jump into 6 through 10 on this week's hot sheet. And coming in at number 10 is Orelvis Martinez, a 20-year-old third baseman with the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, Martinez has some absolute super juice. He's going to hit a lot of home runs. He may not hit for a ton of average, but he's got a huge ISOP. As you can see, it's 438 right now on the season. He hit 3 home runs last week, 2 doubles, and had 5 RBIs. He could be a guy that may pan out to be somewhere in the realm of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Just with his absolute crazy raw power. I think he hit almost 30 home runs last year. And, he's 20 years old playing in Double A. So this is a big time bat. He's just going to have to watch the K percentages because right now he's K'ing at a 32.3 clip. But like I said, he's 20 years old. He's in Double A, and it's not affecting his power output right now. But when he makes it to the big league level, he may have to brush up on that K rate. But he's got so much time to do it. His autos are selling for around 175 right now, and he still could have a huge ceiling to increase from that number just because of how much raw power he has. So keep an eye on Orelvis Martinez and keep an eye on that K percentage. If he starts to really lock in and make more contact, he's going to be an absolute stud. At number 9, we have Brett Beatty with the New York Mets. He's in Double A. He's 22. He's a third baseman. Now, Beatty doesn't have monster juice, but he's got pretty good bat-to-ball skills. He just kind of, makes me think of an all-around really good big leaguer. I think he's going to be a solid player for the Mets down the road. I don't think he'll be a superstar like Orelvis Martinez has that kind of ceiling, but he's just going to be a really good big leaguer, and he's going to help out the Mets quite a bit. He's hitting 400 this season with a 267 ISOP. K rate's a little high, and it's always been a little high with Beatty at 29.1, and his autos have kind of jumped off the charts. They're around $100 right now. So I see Beatty more as a floor guy, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot before, but that's just my personal opinion. Number 8, no surprise, coming back after an entire year off, is Corbin Carroll, 21-year-old out of the Arizona Diamondbacks organization, is a center fielder. He was 7 for 16 with a home run, a double, 4 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. Now, Corbin Carroll is the ultimate offensive package. He can really hit for power. Not a ton of power, but he can hit maybe, you could have 20 home run upside. He's going to hit for a ton of average. He's going to steal bases. He's going to be a really great player for the Diamondbacks down the road. He's hitting 345 this year with a 241 ISOP in Double A, and his autos are around $100 right now. Now, if he wouldn't have missed all of last year, I really think he could have been a guy that got a call up this year, and he still may. There's still that ceiling for him because he's just that good of a player, and he's got that good bat-to-ball skills. So keep an eye on Corbin Carroll and what happens with him over the course of the entire year. You may get to see him in Arizona before the year's over. At number 7 is one of Baltimore's biggest power hitters, Kyle Stowers, out of 2019 draft. And he's put together a pretty good season so far. He's 24, so he's a little old for the hobby. And in this video series, I only do 24 and below. So 24 is the age cap for people on Prospect Hot Sheet. So this will be his last year to be on Hot Sheet. He had 2 home runs this week with 4 doubles and 7 RBIs. He's hitting .381 with a .524 ISOP. So I think that may be the highest ISOP on this list this week. And he's only striking out 14.8% of his plate appearances. So he seems like a pretty good buy right now at $35. And, I did a video on Tyler Gentry last week, and he was a $5 auto. And after the video launched, prices really jumped up. And that's not really the intention of my channel and my videos. It's just to give you guys some information to analyze yourself, and make adult decisions on who you want to buy and maybe who you don't want to buy. So I'm not intending to shift the market in anyone's favor with these videos. It's just something I love to do. And I'm just trying to put information out there for you guys to make your own decisions. So personally, I think he's a decent buy at $35. He's still got a little bit of a ceiling with Baltimore and with that price. And number 6 is Tristan Casas. Absolutely love this guy. Left-handed bat's going to play huge in Boston. He's 22. He is a first baseman. He's not going to play any kind of exceptional or elite defense by any means. But he was 8 for 20 this year with 2 homers, this week with 2 homers, 2 double, and 7 RBIs. Now, Casas is hitting .282 on the year with a .282 ISOP and an 18 K percentage. So I really expect Casas to get a call up at some point this year with the Boston Red Sox. And he's got superior bat to ball skills with that added juice. So he's just going to be a really good hitter down the road, I think. And we're going to jump into 1 through 5. All right, guys, here we are with 1 through 5 on this week's Prospect Hot Sheet. And we're going to start with a guy who had a really, really slow start to his professional career last year in 2021, Austin Hendrick. He struck out a ton, just a really awful year for the young kid last year in 2020. He's a outfielder with the Cincinnati Reds. He's 20 years old. He's playing in A-ball. And, he's a little old for the level, but he struggled so much last year. It's just nice to see him kind of taking some strides in 2021. Now, he's 7 for 17 with 3 homers, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs, and 6 walks, which is really, really awesome because he's taking walks, but his K percentage is still a bit high at 34.3. So right now, I feel like he's teeter-totting between making a name for himself and maybe just kind of getting lost in what he did last year. But he's hitting .280 on the season with a 400 ISOP, and his autos are around $60 right now. And, he is a redemption out of 2020 draft. So if you're breaking wax and expecting to find Austin Hendrick in the next couple of years, make sure that his redemptions have not expired. So he will be harder to find as we move on down the years with Bowman releases. 4 on our list is no surprise, Jordan Lawler. He was injured last year. He only had a handful of at-bats in his rookie debut. He's a 19-year-old shortstop with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He absolutely killed this week. He was 8 for 15 with 2 homers, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. Now on the season, he's hitting .400 with a .313 ISOP and a 21.9 K percentage. He's in A-ball. I expect that to change. If he keeps this up, he'd probably get promoted to high A because the only, legitimate, strong shortstop that the Diamondbacks have in their organization right now is Geraldo Perdomo, and he's at the big league level. He's struggling a little bit, but he's only 21 years old as well. So those are the top 2 shortstops in that organization. So Lawler really has a clear path all the way up to AA if he can put together a really good year this year. 3rd on our list is Jordan Brewer. Now, this guy kind of reminds me of the guy I talked about, Tyler Gentry, in last week's video. He's way too old for his level. He's 24. He's playing in high A. He doesn't really have great career numbers, but he does have big-time juice, and he's making a lot of contact this year. He's 7 for 14 with 3 homers, a triple, a double, 5 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. He very easily could have been number 1 on this list, but the age level kind of just I couldn't put him at number 1 or number 2 because he's 24 playing against kids in high A. So I want to see what he can do in AA. He's a $12 auto right now, but like I said, he's playing against kids well below his age. He has yet to jump into AA, and the leap from high A to AA is exceptional. and it usually separates the men from the boys. So keep an eye on Brewer. I mean, if he can keep it up in Double-A, he's a really good buy right now, $12. Next on our list is Luis Campusano. Now he's had a couple short stints in the big leagues, but he's only 23 years old, and I usually don't put anybody with big league experience on these prospect hot sheets, but I'm going to put Campusano on this one just because he had such a monster week. He was 9 for 17 with a home run double and 3 RBIs. And this season, he's hitting .440 with a 200 ISOP and a 7.6 K percentage. So he's really locked in at the plate. He's at AAA right now. And his autos are also only $12. And you have to go all the way back to 2017 Bowman draft to find them. So we got 2 guys from 2017, Bubba Thompson and Luis Campusano. And number 1 was a no-doubter for me this week. It was Nolan Gorman, and I really love Nolan Gorman. I'd really like to see him strike out less and take more walks. You can see the K percentage is at 36.5 right now. Now, that's pretty high, but the dude hit 4 home runs this week, so he couldn't be denied the number 1 spot. He's a third baseman or second. He spent a lot of time at second base last year. He's 21. He's playing in AAA, so he's still really young for the level, and he has a lot of time to develop his approach and try to take some more walks and cut down on the swing and miss. So if Gorman can eventually do that, I think he's going to be a really exceptional player for the Cardinals. He's a big left-handed bat with tons of juice. He's got a 487 ISOP, but he's really got to watch the strikeouts, which, like I said, he's got time to adjust. So that's going to wrap up the top 15, and I'm going to jump into some honorable mentions because I know I leave a lot of guys off this list. I could put 50 guys on this list every week, but I can only limit myself to the top 15, or I'd be sitting here for hours on my computer editing and pulling all this information. So I'm going to jump into some honorable mentions quick. Now, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time just reiterating the stats that you guys can see, so maybe if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, I'm going to try to save some time with these guys. Jordan Walker, 19, playing in Double-A, was 8 for 17 this week. I didn't see any extra base hits, but like I said, he's 19 in Double-A. The dude's going to be an absolute stud. And his autos are getting almost unaffordable right now. I think the whole community knows how good Jordan Walker is going to be down the road. He had a really big week. It was good to see that. It was good to see Gunnar Henderson come back on the map. He struggled big time last year after his promotion to High A. And, he was 6 for 16 this week with a double and 5 RBIs. He's another guy I really like. The Orioles rave about his work ethic, and his leadership. So Gunnar Henderson is a guy that I'm really high on. Gabriel Moreno, no surprise to anyone that he's doing well. Alexander Mojica was with the Pirates, and he struggled this past year. But the year before in the DSL, he put up just absolute video game numbers. So maybe Mojica's making a comeback. He had a home run. It was 8 for 17 with 2 doubles. Carson Williams, one of the most undervalued first-rounders, I think, in 2021 draft in that autograph checklist. His autos were selling for like $25. He was a first-rounder with the Rays, so he's going to get taught how to play baseball. They're great at developing players, and he's a guy to watch. He's a super sleeper right now. And last time I checked, I think his autos are still around $25. So he got slept on big time when 2021 draft released. So he may be catching up to all the other first-rounders here shortly. Micah Bello making his second appearance on this list. He's a little old for his level, but he was 8 for 17 with a home run. Willard Patino, with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, Patino was a guy I invested in during the COVID break because he had so many tools. He had speed. I figured he could hit for a little power, but all he did was strike out in 2021. His strikeout numbers were terrible. They were close to like Poisson level strikeout numbers. So he's coming back, 7 for 17 this week with a home run and a double, which is really good to see. Willard Patino back in action. Everson Pereira, not a guy I need to talk much about. He's going to be an absolute stud. His cards are expensive right now, and I think a lot of people, like I said, know about Pereira in the hobby. There's nobody sleeping on him. Matthew Lugo with his second appearance on the hot sheet, a young shortstop prospect with the Boston Red Sox. He's off to a super hot start this year. He's 11 for 23 just this past week. Check him out. He is a short print, though. I think he only has color autos. Michael Bush, one of the most underrated hitters in minor league baseball. The dude can absolutely mash. out of North Carolina. He's got super juice. He does everything really well. It just sucks that he plays for the Dodgers because it's really hard to get to the big league level in the Dodgers system. You know, they're just so stacked in their lineup, and they've got another guy, Miguel Vargas, in the minor league system, and they really just have nowhere to go because the Dodgers are so stinking good. So if he were anywhere else, he'd probably be in the big leagues right now. And I could say the same for Miguel Vargas. I think they've both earned their ticket to at least, you know, have a couple plate appearances. But like I said, they're playing for the Dodgers, so it's really hard to get to the big league level within that organization. And finally, an organization where it's not hard to get to the big league level, the Mets. Francisco Alvarez hit another 2 home runs this week, and he's just another young guy. The hobby knows about him. There's no real nobody's sleeping on Francisco Alvarez. He blew up last year with his raw power and the fact that he can stick behind the plate. So that's going to wrap up all of our honorable mentions for the week. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully I gave you some information that you can use to make some buys or not make some buys. As I said before, you know, I'm not trying to alter the market when I make these videos. I'm not trying to sway the market in my favor, and I'm not saying you need to go out and buy these guys right away. I just like to provide information to you guys, and you can make your own decisions based on, you know, the information I give you and the information that you have and, you know, your own opinion of players. So that's what makes the hobby fun, because there's no guarantees. There's really no locks. So I just wanted to come out and talk about that. And if you enjoy my content, subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, and it helps me out a lot if you guys subscribe. I'll put a link to my Patreon page in the description. I've got a ton of exclusive content over there, and I look forward to doing next week's hot sheet. Y'all take care. Enjoy the hobby.